AI data centers. AI data centers are popping up all over the place, and a lot of people aren't happy about them. But something in particular that it's doing, which if you're on the right, it's kind of so I don't really pick sides. But lately, it's been more on the right, honestly, with how out of control certain. But speaking of things out of control, AI data centers completely shatters. Completely shatters people on the left's credibility, and in particular, people on the left who fight for environmental rights and will cite things like needing to eliminate gas vehicles to reduce emissions, which has been the mantra of people who have been very active and vocal on the left. And we need to save stop the end of this climate crisis. We need to, eliminate gas vehicles as soon as possible so we can not, have the ice caps melt and flood California. Like, that's a bit exaggeratory. Caught my phone there. It was a bit exaggeratory, but caught my phone. But man, I lost my only audience here, but I'm gonna keep talking here. That's a bit exaggeratory, but it's what a lot of people have been parroting on the left since the days of Al Gore. When Al Gore came out with a documentary, An Inconvenient Truth, it really became the thing a lot of people who were citing as a cardinal truth. Hi to Josh Fernandez. Thanks for hopping on the chat. Hello. Welcome to the stream, guys. We're talking about how AI data centers have eliminated pretty much all credibility for people on the left who are, and my eyes are on the road here, so don't worry, I'm not going to crash. I got a lot of room here of people in front of me, but AI centers. So what's going on is they're coming up everywhere, and a lot of people have no idea how much pollution they actually do. Pollution is just the beginning of really the environmental impact they have. There are reports of animals not being within 5 miles of data centers. Now being within 5 miles of data centers. And there are videos on the internet of people who live within a mile of a data center and how horrible sounding it is. Just a non-stop, very annoying sounding groan. And that's just the environmental sort of inconvenience. We're not even talking about the pollution yet. There's a major report that is going around the internet, and it's very public right now, of the biggest data center to ever be built is going to be built in the state of Utah, and it will take more power to power this data center than the rest of the state of Utah. So we're talking about all these cities in Utah, and Salt Lake City included. Salt Lake City has a couple 100,000 people living in it. The state of Utah has about 1 million people living in it. So more power will go to this data center than everyone living in Utah. And worse yet, the amount of pollution calculated that may come out of this data center is, according to this report, equivalent to 2.5 Hiroshima bombs every day. 2.5 Hiroshima bombs every day amount of pollution. We're talking about, if you go back, if you know your history, end of World War II, United States bombed Japan twice with atomic bombs, Hiroshima and Nagasaki, and there are people who were within 30 miles of the blast epicenter who died of radiation poisoning. And these people who were rained on by this basically radioactive, like acid rain, they will experience like death within months from radioactive poisoning. Those people, we see in history, the pictures. You can look at the horrible effects of the atomic. Imagine that 2.5 times every day coming out of Utah, on top of the amount of water that AI data centers need to continually use every single day. And if you're in states like California, states like Texas, you know, very big states with a lot of water demand, a high population, every single year these states go through major campaigns of don't flush your toilet if you pee, and don't take a shower every day. Try to keep your water usage down to less than 10 gallons a day or something. We got to save our water. These are states that obviously couldn't afford to have AI data centers everywhere because of their high water demand. But it's like, do they not even matter? Do those states who have millions and millions of people who have to not shower every day and have to maybe skip a glass of water or two every day, do those people have a say in the amount of water data centers get to have? Here's the most ridiculous thing. Here's the most ridiculous thing that has come out from this AI data center thing. These populations of people surrounding data centers have had their energy bills increased by multiple percentage points in order to offset the infrastructural cost of providing these energy centers enough output or input so they can operate. Here's the kicker. That energy percentage increase would also to people like the Amish who don't even use energy. And the people in these Amish populations are like, well, if their bill doesn't exceed $150, they'll be charged a minimum of $150. The Amish don't even use power. Why would they have to states with Amish? They're 25 million of the people in this board are making 25 million for a board of people just to say we gotta raise money on the Amish. Electricity. We gotta pay for the infrastructure to have these AI data center buildings. So it's completely abusing citizens of the United States. And who's doing anything about it? None other than Erin Brockovich. Yes, Erin Brockovich is a real person. The movie starring what's her name from Pretty Woman? Someone tell me, what's the name of the lady from Pretty Woman? Oh, the actress. She's Julia Roberts. That movie starring Julia Roberts, who plays Erin Brockovich. Erin Brockovich is a real person. She's most famous for being an activist who took on PG&E in the 90s through this major scandal where an entire town of people, I believe it was somewhere outside of Bakersfield, made an entire town of people sick for some horrible practices in this factory or whatever. Erin Brockovich set up a petition, or not a petition, but set up a website, AIDataCenterTracker.org, and on it, you can openly submit your complaints to Erin Brockovich to maybe set up a class action suit. Well, within the first week of this website being set up, over 5,000 complaints have already been filed with Erin Brockovich. So if you live near a data center, if you know anyone near a data center, if you care about this, if you are a scientist and want to provide helpful information on all this, if you want to maybe hold this country accountable for something, go ahead and go to AIDataCenterTracker.org or whatever it was, and make your complaints known so we can actually do something about this. Yeah, it doesn't actually pleasure me at all. Like, pleasure me, that's a weird way of saying anything. It doesn't actually give me any joy whatsoever to know that this is even happening. Even if it does completely destroy the credibility of environmental activists who are utilizing data that is completely inaccurate to go and achieve goals that politicians have set out for them to fight for. I've said it on other streams of mine, but I'll say it here. Gavin Newsom and Nancy Pelosi are two such examples of people who are heavily invested in electric vehicles and heavily invested in materials that are used to make batteries for electric cars. Those are two such examples of people who are perpetuating this idea. We have to save the environment by eliminating gas vehicles. Well, it just so happens that this AI data center stuff completely throws that out the window. We're not hearing a peep from any politicians about the severe environmental impact of these data centers, which is ginormous. There's all this complaint about fossil fuels and oil companies and all that. Nowhere near the environmental impact the data centers are that this oil thing. Even fracking, it doesn't do anything in nearly comparison to how much damage these data centers do. So if you care, again, go to Erin Brockovich's thing she's starting, AIDataCenterTracker.org. Add to her long list of complaints that have already been coming in. Again, over 5,000 in the first week. That's just something you can do. If you have any other ideas on how to fight this, maybe contact your representative, or maybe send a letter to the president. I don't know. Someone's got to do something. I'm doing, I think, a little bit in making this stream and raising awareness, even if I only have one like. So if you're still watching, help me spread awareness on this. Share the information, and that was a near accident right for me. That's cool. All right. Anyways, I'll talk to you guys later. Have a good one.